Okay, here's a question about my life, and going back to the States. Let's read it. Hi Kurt, been watching some of your older LylesBrother videos. A lot of really awesome stuff, thank you. Had a question for you. Hopefully it doesn't intrude too much into your personal life, but here it goes. Very few things do. I'm an open book. Do you envision a certain life when you move back to the U.S.? Job, living situation, money requirements, and the more important pursuit of happiness. In other words, hobbies. Yeah, I sure do. I have a very definite vision of my life back in the States. I would like to live in a nice small community that is influenced by a university or college in the area. So we have to call it kind of a collegiate atmosphere, you know, with the students and the like around. I just find that atmosphere to be stimulating. I'd like to live in my wife and I don't think we'll ever be able to afford a house again, so I think we live in a small apartment with our daughter, maybe a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment within walking distance of downtown, so we don't have to drive downtown and walk to the. I like to have more like a village center type of a thing. I lived in communities like that when I was in university, and we lived in Arcata. Arcata's a college town, loved it there. And then again, when we lived in Santa Barbara, we could just walk downtown. So I've lived that life twice in my life so far, and I really enjoy that. Job, I want to be a gardener. I know it's going to be tough supporting my family on that, but YouTube does pretty good these days, and it's pretty steady. It's pretty steady, and I'm hoping that that gardening augmented by the YouTube revenue will keep me going. I'm not necessarily planning to do YouTube after I get back. It's really the videos. The money doesn't come from new videos necessarily. It comes from the body of videos, the large body of videos. So as long as I still have those out there, and hopefully as long as they're still relevant, then they'll still make money. If they don't, then I'll have to do something else. My wife's really encouraging me towards that. She really wants me to do YouTube full time. So that, and I'm with Maker Studio, and they're really encouraging me to do that too. So maybe I'll try to find a way to do that. We'll see what happens. Money requirements, yeah, it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tough, but my wife and I will both be working, and our needs will be simple. We'll keep it simple. Pursuit of happiness, no difference there. Just keep on doing what I'm doing. You know, get up in the morning, have adventure, spend time with my family. I try to keep an optimistic outlook. Look at the positive side of life, and stay healthy and have fun. Well, I can do that anywhere. It says, I think I've moved beyond my desire to move back to Japan with visions of farming and countryside life. I can credit some of your videos to helping me insert reality back into some of my fantasies. Much of which I already learned, yet time seems to methodically erase the unpleasantries. Even when I think I'm being realistic with my vision of life in Japan, one of your videos will jog a memory of something I didn't agree with or just plain made life difficult. I'm glad for that. I'm glad, because a lot of people do have a less than realistic view of the world here. And Japan's a place like any place else. People are people everywhere, with some significant differences, but for the most part, in our heart and souls, we're all the same. And the consequences and the challenges here are just like anywhere else. Watched a video of yours which was made for your daughter where you mentioned you'd be homeless if you hadn't met your wife. Yeah, that's called How My Family Saved Me. That's on the Messages to My Daughter playlist. I can relate. Met my wife in Hawaii going to school barely, and I was honestly on the path to nowhere in particular with very little to my name, and I was pretty fine with it. After marrying her, I still drifted quite a bit, but felt that a day would come when I would need to be a professional at something and really try to make decent money. But the thing is that the harder I try at life, the less I find that I am myself. Yeah, me too. I really am in my heart and soul a bum. I don't know. I'm not saying you are, but that's what I am. I just a vagrant, and I'd be quite happy at that. The person that really led me to all this led me to all that is real about me. Okay. I miss the flow of thoughts I often had when I had less self-imposed responsibilities. Much like I miss the way living in Japan opened my mind and allowed me to ponder the smallest details of life. Have you given any more thought to this lately? Do you foresee this changing for you when you move back to the USA and become entwined with making it here? I don't think so. I think I'm done with that stuff, because I no longer I no longer think of any circumstance that I have to be in to do that. It really is between my ears, and whatever circumstances I'm in. I have to provide for my family. I have to do my 8-hour penance. Penance for what? I don't know. Penance for the life choices that I made? I don't know. That's not a good way to think about it at all. You know, I'm happy for the choices that I made. I'm happy that I became a family man and that I'm a husband. I love those things. It kept me grounded and allows me to create a life in this world, and my daughter, and to be a family man, to contribute to society. I'm happy about all those things. But I do have to pay for those things in terms of being a responsible member of society. But that doesn't keep me from being the person that I am anymore. I just don't have enough time. I can't pine for the past or worry that for some lifestyle that I could have had. I have to make it now, and I do it between my ears now. And that's just the way. There's no other option for me. And that'll be the same back in the States, here, or wherever. I'm having a hard time giving up the person I am when I put less effort into the pursuit of money. I'm having a hard time giving up the person that I am when I put less effort into the pursuit of money. I'm having a hard time lately deciding if that is selfish or just me wanting to be the person I really am. What is really taking care of your family and being the man of the house? I'm a little bit disappointed in myself to think that money has something to do with it, but maybe it just does in the day and age with the cost of living so high. It sure does. Well, you bet. My wife and daughter, I mean, I see that. I see my role as being twofold at least, you know. And my first and primary role is to make sure that, I'm here at the beach right now having a great old time, but my wife and daughter are safe within our little apartment right now, probably just waking up and getting ready to start the day. And they pass the night in safety behind locked doors with a refrigerator full of food, with utilities that work, an operating car outside, insurance accounts paid for and ready to go, and a life insurance, you know, in case I fall off the edge of a cliff someday. Basically, that's my duty, to make sure that they're taken care of. That's my main duty, I think, actually, as the man of the house, so to speak. My secondary duty is to be a good husband, father, and loving member of that. And I do think it's in that order. You know, I actually think it's more important for me to provide money than anything else. I would rather, if I was given a choice of more time at home, but my family was suffering from the basic needs, versus my family's got their basic needs covered, but they don't see me as much, I'd take the second one. I just think that's more important. I wouldn't want them to suffer. And I think they would appreciate that more. So yeah, but again, you don't have to give it up. It doesn't have to be one or the other, right? You can have both. It's just, you know, training yourself to do it between your ears. And it does take, for me, it almost had to get to the point of just giving up on the old dream that I had. And instead of saying I can't have it, saying I'm going to find another way. And that's just the way of living it, thinking it. Doing stuff like this, you know. This is a humble adventure. I'm on beach. I've shown this. I'm at the beach all by myself, swimming in the ocean, just having a humble adventure. This is not Hawaii. This is not Waikiki or Honolulu or some, you know, Bell's Beach in Australia or someplace like this. This is just the beach at Mochi Mune, but it's all mine right now, and I had a great swim. By the way, do you ever think about the term, the cost of living? What is the cost of, in all caps, cost of living? What is the cost of life? Money. Why? Why should life cost anything? Well, I mean, I made a video called Becoming Mac and the Boys. If you ever read John Steinbeck's Cannery Row, the heroes of that book are a bunch of vagrants, Mac and his friends, who are basically bums. They sleep on the beach. They live off of donations and what they can find, and they're hobo philosophers. Their cost of life is minimum. They've sacrificed they sacrifice the stuff for the effervescence of life, of thinking, of whatever. And but they had to pay a price in terms of they had to give up their family or never have a family, right? Well, thank you for writing. This has been a very intriguing email. I hope that my answer has has given you some insight into what's going on in my mind as well. I appreciate you asking. I'm sorry to be so late in getting back to you, friend. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.